Jon Hamm is resurrecting he's having a renaissance of sorts in his career. Like he kind of went silent after Mad Men for many years. By the way, whatever happened to Matthew Weiner. He was the genius behind Mad Men.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote it. He was the showrunner, and then he kind of just like went away.
He's just counting his money.
But that's how Jon Hamm became famous, Mad Men, and he was brilliant as Don Draper. And now he's back in this Friends and Neighbors. Have you seen it at all?
No.
All right. Well, we just started watching it, Doug and I.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. He's like a down on his luck financial trader guy. I don't remember what area of finance he was in. But on the first episode, he loses his job and you find out he lost his marriage because his wife cheated on him, Amanda Peet. And
she's great.
Then spoiler alert, but you learned it in the first episode, he becomes a thief. So he has the advantage of living in this very rich community and knowing all these rich people because he was one like yesterday.
Okay.
So they don't expect him at all. And he knows when they're all at the local benefit for the children. And he uses those nights to go into his friends' homes and starts burgling them and stealing watches, etc. And then finds a fence for the stolen goods. Well, apparently we're a little behind. Doug and I are only on episode 3, I think, or 4. But in episode 6, he and Amanda Peet, and I don't know whether this is a throwback, doesn't matter, but he and Amanda Peet, his ex-wife, go into a church and steal the Eucharist and start snacking on it, which I have to say, even as somebody, I am Catholic and I am observant. We go to church every week. I just had my 2 eldest kids confirmed, is fucking bullshit. Okay? I say that as a Catholic. Here's a scene in SOT 34.
Here we go.
Oh, that was upside down.
It's in. Now watch. You just give it a... And I kick in the lock into Jesus' house. This is a church. It's a house of worship. You have to be very respectful.
You're going to hell.
Yes. Tell me something I don't know. Crackers.
Oh my God, they open up the tabernacle. They have wafers here, and they're snacking on them like Triscuits.
Are we sure it's a Catholic church?
Yes. They put jelly on them.
And she's also showing shoulders.
Yes, the least of their problems.
I know. As a non-Catholic, I take offense to that.
This is disgusting.
I mean, I'm also Catholic, practicing, but I'm not so scandalized.
You don't care.
I mean,
you're rarely scandalized.
Sort of, I guess. Yeah, maybe. But with that, it's like Hollywood is so secularized and hostile to
true.
Christianity and then Catholicism, especially because it's the main one.
So I was going to say, if that's true, they're just so secularized. Where is the film on showing somebody drawing the so-called Prophet Muhammad?
We're going to make it.
You should. I'll help bankroll it. We'll be dead by 2026. That's the difference between Islam and Christianity.
Yeah. Catholics are easier targets.
Yeah.
Because of their own scandals and perceived hypocrisies. And Catholicism, through some fault of its own, has a lot of like cachet. And it's like a sexy
bashing priests is like, don't leave your daughter or your son alone with them. I'd say, unfortunately.
But I think they did this on purpose to generate some kind of viral outrage.
Or whatever. We're like, let's do what would be
Yeah.
something, I can imagine the writers' room where they're like, let's do something scandalous.
A bunch of Jewish guys in the writers' room. Let's piss some people off.
I'm not a diehard Catholic. I don't know scripture. Like, I'm not one of those people. I listen to like my pal John Rich talk about the Bible, and I sit in awe just learning. But I am a believer, and I'm a Catholic, and I have to say, like, that is the most sacrosanct thing they could take to bash.
Sure.
And having just been through my 2 kids, like my son should have been confirmed a year earlier. We just slept on the job, so he and his little sister, who's a year younger, got confirmed at the same time. They as part of confirmation, they made the kids watch one of those videos about how sacrosanct the communion wafer is, and how they genuinely,
it's the real presence
believe
of,
it is the body of Jesus Christ,
Right.
and about how our former Pope Francis, came from this diocese in Argentina where they did experience a miracle. They found a communion wafer on the floor of the church, and somebody brought it to the church or to the priest to say, somebody must have dropped this. And there's a whole protocol they're supposed to go through when that happens. You have to like lock it up or whatever. And they did that, and the thing was bloodied after a couple of days. They called in an outside agency. They tested it. They found actual like flesh, DNA. You can believe or not believe. But I'm just saying, for Catholics, we believe that that's the actual body of Jesus Christ, and fuck you for using it for your PR.
It's a sacrament. It's absolutely.
But I think like people in entertainment understand that they have like plausible deniability because they can say, well, this is art. It's supposed to entertain you, titillate you, make you think, whatever. It is safe. It's like the left loves to practice like safe racism against Italians and Irish, who happen to make up the bulk of the Catholics in the United States,
right.
with like probably a rising.
But my people on both sides.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, charitably, I'll say also, maybe on the next episode, they get struck down by God.
Yep.
Oh, no, I think they do. Yeah. Have you been watching?
No, I'm just saying.
My pal, Michael,
maybe they'll learn a hard
Doherty,
lesson.
who's on National Review, and he's very Catholic. He's a much better Catholic than I am. Maybe you too, but I don't know. But he's very devout. And he was saying something very bad does happen to the characters.
Okay,
and
so there you go.
Yeah, I do think maybe there's divine
That's
right
in
order.
service of a plot.
I'm a little tipsy, so I'm just going to circle back to Zohran Mamdani for a minute, because it just occurred to me that his parents gave him the middle name Kwame, which has nothing to do with his heritage on either side, to prime him for a life in politics, which is so much more sinister than any of this. Like,
That's what we should really be exercised about.
Yeah.
Well, Maureen Callahan, who's got a show within the MK Media Network, opened her podcast, which has been a total hit, going off on Jon Hamm. And I was shocked because I loved Mad Men, and I loved Jon Hamm, like most people who enjoyed that show. And she revealed this dark history of the guy where she found the police report where he absolutely hazed, to the point of alleged criminality, a kid in college.
In like a fraternity?
Yes, to where the kid had a broken spine and was like tortured by him, allegedly, according to this police report. And if one word of it is true, the guy's a sociopath. I was
he's
shocked.
a male actor, so.
Well, I can't it was, but if you watch the show, you can sort of see playing the absolute asshole comes very easily to this guy.
Yeah, maybe Don Draper wasn't so far out of his range.
Maybe he's not a great actor.
He's just playing himself.
This administration is working very hard to try and fix this country. But while they're focused on fixing the country, they can't fix your personal finances. That's really up to you. And that's why thousands of Americans are turning to Birch Gold. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has risen by 30%. Think about that. How's your stock market investment doing? Has it gone up 30%? Have you made 30% on your money? And demand is strong and it's growing. While reports are that the BRICS nations are actively working to challenge the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, that's not great. In other uncertain times, gold has offered peace of mind, and in these uncertain times, it does the same. Birch Gold makes it incredibly easy to convert your existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA backed by physical gold. Or if you prefer, you can buy gold to store in your own home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of protecting your savings today. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.